Good afternoon, everybody. Great to see so many new faces in the audience, and I hope to get to meet each one of you personally. I want to personally welcome you to the Community Services Department. You know, the county's got a lot of great departments and a lot of great people, but you have joined the preeminent team, the Community Services Department. So my name is Dwayne Smith, as Kelly said. I'm fortunate enough to be the director of the Engineering Capital Projects Division. I'm really fortunate because I get to work with over 40 highly skilled, trained individuals who are also very committed to the success of our community. While we're out in the field a lot of the time, we're located primarily at these two locations, here at the 9th Street Complex. So we're both upstairs in Building A at the end of the hallway, and we're also down near the back entry at the loading dock where our CTMRD district is. We're also located down at one of our wastewater treatment facilities down at Stemwharf, South Truckee Meadows Reclamation Facility. Our team includes utility operations staff, engineers, technicians. We have surveyors. We have a lot of project managers, inspectors. We have a water rights manager, and we also have interns. So this is a nice collage of the team here. Our team delivers services for the benefit of our region. We focus on engineering and survey. We do groundwater and ground remediation with the Central Truckee Remediation District. We're also responsible for the utility. You may not know that out of the 5 wastewater treatment plants here in the area, we are responsible for 3 of those. We also do a lot of inspection work, and we're fortunate enough to deliver the capital projects for Washoe County. The other day we were talking about and kind of practicing for this, and I just wanted to say thank you to certainly our team members that are presenting today. But I am always impressed listening to the rest of the presentations about all the different things we do. I think you're going to hear a little bit more breadth about what engineering does, and I'm going to hand it over to Timber to get things started.
Thank you for having me. My name is Timber Weiss, and I've been with the engineering group for about 1.5 years now. We're more than a collection of pretty faces, see Brad Pitt. Vahid, sorry, and I'll also explain some of the interesting topics we deal with. The engineering group provides professional oversight for the planning in conjunction with other administrative entities, design and review, and construction and operation of infrastructure and facilities within Washoe County. This includes sewer systems and sewer treatment facilities, which Dwayne mentioned, stormwater conveyance systems, floodplain management and flood response, traffic design and safety, as well as roads management. We also review and condition new development to ensure compliance with Washoe County Code, design standards, and ordinances. We also review permits for construction of new infrastructure within the county rights-of-way. We review encroachment and excavation permits for street cuts, revocable permits for new infrastructure like driveways, construction stormwater discharge permits for stormwater maintenance, as well as traffic and haul route planning. Let's take a look at some of the special projects we work with. Now, these are a few examples of Nevadans helping Nevada. So the first project is a Lake Tahoe Clarity Program, where Washoe County works with entities within the Tahoe Basin to reduce contaminants entering the lake and make sure that Lake Tahoe stays clear. And we achieve this through stormwater system design and roadway operations. Another project is the Golden Valley Aquifer Recharge Program, where the county established a water recharge system to preserve groundwater within Golden Valley and make sure domestic well owners have water in their wells. We also participate in the FEMA Community Rating System, where we maintain a high standard of floodplain management and minimize the impacts of flood on our community. One of the main outcomes of this project is that all property owners within the areas of significant flood risk receive a 20% discount of their flood insurance through FEMA. And that's all because of our attention to the floodplain management. Another huge project we work with is the pedestrian and roadway engineering policy, which levels the playing field of all road users. Any individual can come to our office and request roadway safety improvements, and we can implement these improvements to make our roads better and safer. Here's some key facts of the engineering group. We are a technical resource for engineering services for individuals, companies, and other agencies. We are also a regional leader in emergency flood response, maximizing the use of reclaimed water, and managing our water resources. So that was a brief showcase of the topics that the engineering group deals with. And with that, I will introduce Kat from our surveying group.
Hi there, my name is Catherine Hyde. I'm a member of the survey team at CSD, and I want to introduce my teammates. So first, Wayne Handrock, he's the county surveyor. And then on my other side is Matt Philimale. He is a licensed surveyor and also the geomatics specialist, and I'm the geomatics technician. So what we do is we keep all the survey records, and we perform the technical map checks for all the maps that get recorded in Washoe County. We review not just Washoe County maps, but also City of Reno and City of Sparks maps. The types of maps that we review are property boundary surveys, parcel maps, subdivision maps, boundary line adjustments, mining claim and water rights maps. So we educate and support the regional survey community and the public also by providing customer service. Next slide. So here's an example of a typical map submitted to us for review. Anytime a property line is moved or created, our group checks the maps. We check the verbiage to make sure it fits and meets the requirements. We check distances and directions and curves. They have to match existing parcel lines, and also the parcel lines have to make sense within the new boundaries. The map, we check it to make sure it follows the survey standards of practice, and this includes county and state law. Finally, we check the paper map as well as the AutoCAD file for these and a lot of other items on our checklist. Afterwards, we get back to the submitter with what they need to fix. We re-review that map, and then we oversee the recording. So some key facts. Our group reviewed over 250 maps last year and oversaw their recording. We support the Regional Street Naming Committee, of which Wayne is a chairperson. He's also the subcommittee member for the Nevada Technical Board of Engineers and Surveyors, and we have a combined 60 years of technical survey experience. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce Brian with CTMRD.
My name is Brian Bass, and I'm the interim program manager for the Central Truckee Meadows Remediation District program. And I'd like to introduce our team. We're a small but very, very fierce team. And Bonnie Weller is on the left there. She's our GIS and database guru. And after her is Rick Erdman, and Rick is our field operations manager. Scott Bayshard is one of our senior hydrogeologists, and he is the manager of the groundwater monitoring program, amongst other things. And the last guy on the right, we're still trying to figure out what he does. But next. So how many of you know what CTMRD does? I said, how many of you know what CTMRD does? 3. Oh, oops, 2. Okay. How many of you know what PCE is? Just about as many. And how many of you came here specifically for this presentation on CTMRD? Everybody. Wow, that's great. Thank you. Okay, so the Central Truckee Meadows Remediation District Program, our objectives are to remediate and mitigate existing PCE contamination in both groundwater and soil. And we'll get to exactly what PCE is here in a moment. Secondly, our objective is to prevent PCE from contaminating portions of the aquifer that are not contaminated already. Thirdly and fourthly is to inform and educate stakeholder agencies, the public, and the business sector on what it is we do. And that includes our achievements and what it is that we do. Next. Thank you. Our program is primarily composed of characterization and remediation. So characterization of PCE is based on our groundwater monitoring program, and we have a network of over 200 monitoring wells throughout the greater Sparks and Reno area. The groundwater monitoring wells are a way for us to get to characterize the location, the magnitude, and the extent of plumes of PCE that are existing in groundwater. And then also to identify high masses of PCE that are present so that we can do targeted remediation on those source areas as well. With regards to remediation of the PCE, we remediate the PCE to protect property values and prevent real property devaluation. And alongside with that is avoiding a Superfund listing and to maintain control locally of the remediation of PCE. Most of you know that if you're listed as a Superfund, that is not good news and makes things a lot more costly and is not good for whatever community is unfortunately labeled with that. Our staff is also a regional source in Northern Nevada for PC contamination and other groundwater contamination concerns as well. That, can you go back just for a sec? That figure that you see up on the right is a representation of a model that we put together for each of those plumes, the PCE plumes. They're complex. Some of them exist in various layers throughout the subsurface. So here's some quick PCE facts. So what is PCE? PCE is also known as perchloroethylene or PERC. Also is tetrachloroethylene. It is a man-made solvent, and it is fairly ubiquitous in cleaning, industrial cleaning activities. Also in dry cleaning, and to a lesser extent in paints, adhesives, and insecticides, but it's a very common additive for a lot of things. It is designated a probable human carcinogen, It is very, very toxic. We have remediated approximately 400 billion gallons of drinking water since 1996, taking it from undrinkable water to drinkable water. We've removed 25 to 30 gallons of PCE from the aquifer each year. Now, that might not seem like a lot to some of you, 25 to 30 gallons, but it is a lot. And it's all relative to how toxic your contaminant is. And as I mentioned, PCE is extremely toxic. In fact, 1 tablespoon of PCE can contaminate all the water in 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools beyond the safe drinking water standard. You can't drink it. So that would be about 1.3 million gallons. So just picture a tablespoon of something contaminating 1.3 million gallons. That's how toxic it is. Let's see. How many of you know what the 62 with the arrow to 2 means? And if you get this one right, you get a prize. It was something I put in the slide actually after the presentation was put together as a reminder for myself. Back in the early to mid 90s, when the program came into existence, there were 62 dry cleaners in the Reno-Sparks area that were PCE using dry cleaners. But as part of our outreach activities, including guidelines and manuals and visiting dry cleaners and talking to the owners and trying to convince them to switch over to a new cleaning process, which doesn't use PCE, we took that number down from 62 to today where it's 2 dry cleaners using PCE. So that is a not so well known part of our program and a very, very successful part of it, and one that I'm very proud of, that we've been able to achieve that. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm running ahead of time, but any quick questions? I don't see my 1-minute card up yet, so. Okay, so any questions? That's it? Are they what? Nope, they just haven't converted yet. We're keeping on them. All righty, thanks a lot. I'd like to introduce Shane O'Neill with Utilities next. Shane?
So welcome. As he said, my name is Shane O'Neill. I've been with Washoe County Utilities Department for about 3 years, but I've been with Washoe County for 27. Up here on the screen, we have the amazing team that I get to work with every day. One of them's even sitting up here in the seats over here. Thanks. At the utilities field operation, our job is to keep the toilets flushing. So unless you have an outhouse in your house, we affect everybody here. We do this by hands-on commitment to high-level customer service at the lowest cost to our citizens in the Truckee Meadows. We're available 24/7 for everything from calls in the field meetings to with customers and contractors, and we regularly respond to emergency repairs, 811 USA locates, general system flushing and maintenance on both the sewer and reclaim systems. We also maintain the North Spanish Springs Flood Detention Facility and respond to emergency weather-related events like flooding and snow with our local partners. So our focus is to meet federal, state, and local permit requirements and produce Category A reclaimed water for irrigation and construction use such as dust control. Our division operates like a private company, generating our own revenue. New development and connection fees help pay for capital project improvements, like the Stum Wharf expansion project, and user fees paid by businesses and homeowners pay for our maintenance costs and operational costs such as salaries, equipment, and parts. We do cover a lot of territory. We service South Truckee Meadows, Lemon Valley, North Spanish Springs, and Cold Springs. We also provide support for 3 water treatment plants, South Truckee Meadows, Lemon, and Cold Springs, and our collection system serves over 25,000 customers. And as you see on the slide here, we have 6,800 manholes in the system and physically inspect about 1/3 of those every year. So anywhere that you see those purple signs around South Truckee Meadows, you'll find one of our 460 reclaim customers. This includes golf courses like Arrow Creek, Wolf Run, schools like Marcy Hers, which is a new one up on Arrow Creek, Bishop Minogue, and parks like South Valley's Regional Parks and Sports Complex, and then roadside landscapes within your neighborhoods, and most of the construction fills. Every gallon of reclaimed water we use in our area is a gallon of water that stays in the Truckee River for drinking. Couple utility facts. We constantly strive to stay in front of growth in our area through the building and maintaining of our system. Our goal is to effectively plan, budget, and implement Washoe County strategies development plan for the health and safety of our community. 2 interesting notes, the I-580 bridge in Washoe Valley, the big one, that was all batched. Every bit of concrete in that was batched with reclaimed water. And we receive wastewater from as far away as Mount Rose Ski Resort. And we have a couple of pictures catching up here. So right here you see, this is part of our Stum Wharf expansion. This is the new bioreactor. It has walls now, and for a short time was probably the largest swimming pool in northern Nevada, because it's huge. It took 22 pours and about 4,500 yards of concrete. When it's finished, it's going to be absolutely stellar. So also, the next picture, this is the tip of the spear in our emergency response and all of our maintenance. This is our newest combo truck. We bought it for a cost of about $500,000, and it really helps us do our job on a daily basis. So that's about all I have, and I'll turn it over to Bo, I think it is, right?
Hello, my name is Bo Duke, and I am the supervisor for the Civil and Utility Inspection Division group, As many of you might or might not know, I'm very, very happy to be here. I'm fortunate to work alongside Travis Ham and Teddy Elwell. We are a smaller and fiercer team than Brian's CTMRT team. So why is civil inspection important? First off, we ensure public safety, not just to our residents and visitors to Washoe County, but also for the construction workers that are installing underground utilities, building subdivisions, paving streets. Secondly, our team oversees the construction of new infrastructure and makes sure that it's built per all the plans and codes that we have available. We also review, issue, and inspect encroachment excavation permits for work that impacts the Washoe County roadways. This group issues a few hundred of these permits each year. Here's some examples of what else we do. We collaborate with the Capital Projects Group during plan review. We coordinate with the engineering group for the installation of storm drains, sewer lines, any natural disasters. Our group provides the QA and QC for all the soils, pavements, and asphalts for new construction. This includes the final acceptance of all new Washoe County streets, and we are the last team to verify that the work has been built per our standards and that Washoe County can buy the streets. Once we own the streets, our group works closely with the roads department to keep them in good shape. Over the last 6 years, our team has inspected 65 subdivisions in the area, which is around $150 million worth of infrastructure dedicated to Washoe County, and over 3,000 new homes in the area. Annually, we inspect about 1,000 streetlights to make sure that they're working. The guys do it at night during the wintertime, and we generate a report that goes to NV Energy to make sure that the lights that aren't working become available again. We work directly with contractors, utility companies, and developers, coordinating that all these jobs are done right. Then a couple photos. The second photo shows bridge construction spanning over Whites Creek along Mount Rose Highway, and we're fortunate to be able to do the inspection on that project. Thanks for listening. Please welcome Brett for his presentation for capital projects.
Thank you, Bo. Again, Brett Steinhardt, Senior Project Manager for the Capital Projects Group. This is our great team. Bill, Megan, Steve, Hannah, and Bo, which I wanted to point out, Bo is no longer a supervisor for the inspection crew. He's now in a broader project management team, so that's exciting for us and Bo. I'm real proud to work with this group. They're just great people, hard workers, and could not ask for a better team. So, what is capital projects? What is that? Well, essentially, it's a group of people who oversee and manage the planning, design, construction, and improvements to all assets in Washoe County. We also provide project management services to all departments within Washoe County, and we ensure all construction and improvements are completed to our specifications and standards, and we ensure the projects are completed on schedule and on budget. So, talking about budget, how are these projects funded? How are they selected, and how are they prioritized? So, these projects are funded by taxes, fees, federal grants, bonds, and some sizable private donations, which is a cool thing. Typically, those will go to parks or something like that. That money is allocated and placed in a fund, as you see there, like Parks Fund, Utility Fund. And as an example, the general fund, we would fund a project like a senior center remodel project or a register of voters improvements project. We might fund a new elevator at the downtown Reno Library. So there's a lot of projects that come out of these different funds that we do. So projects are requested by departments. They're submitted to our CIP committee, who then selects, and ultimately those projects are approved by the Board of County Commission. Our capital projects team takes those projects, and we put a high-level budget number to them. We work with the customers and develop a scope for those projects. And then that goes back to the team and ultimately gets approved by the Board of County Commission. Now, once the board approves those, the CIP committee then assigns those projects back to the capital projects team, and then we go forth and do those projects. Today, or this year, we have about 75 different projects at a value of about $160 million. So we have a lot of stuff going on. These are the types of some of the projects we do: new construction, remodels, space improvements, and infrastructure. There is a lot more projects in here, but as you can see, a new construction project might be a safe camp at the homeless services, or a fire station, or a CARES campus project. These projects are all a little bit different. Some are complex, some are not. and we assign them to project managers who may have bandwidth or have expertise in those particular projects. So we kind of get to learn a little bit, or we kind of get to dive into what we do best. So, oops. An example of a fun project here that didn't make it on here. This one's a little different, but we'll wing it. So there was a presentation about the STEMWRF bioreactor 3 and 4. It was a large pit, essentially, had a lot of concrete. Oh, that's funny, it's not showing on my slide. So that's a large hole in the ground there, and it holds about 1 million gallons of wastewater. Concurrently, this is a project Megan Seislove is doing, and I'm doing a project here at the Safe Camp site, a homeless safe camp that's in the Governor's Bowl. And if you're familiar with that, it's a large pit. It was where the baseball fields were. Some of you might have played baseball there. Megan called me one day and said, "Hey, do you need 20,000 cubic yards of structural fill?" And I said, yes, I do. And so, long story short, we met with our contractors, we met with our engineers, and we made it work. We were able to take that material from that hole in the ground there, and we brought it to where the safe camp is, and we were able to raise the elevation of that safe camp. Probably half of the material we needed, which is about half of the total Governor's Bowl. So that probably saved us several $100,000 or more. It was a great win for Washoe County. And I share that because that's just a great example of what we do on a daily basis in capital projects. So that concludes my presentation, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Dwayne Smith.
Thank you, team. Well, I hope all of you have learned a little bit today about the breadth of some of the things that we do in the Engineering Capital Projects Division. You probably didn't realize that our area had the potential to be listed as a PCE Superfund site. Pretty interesting. Probably didn't realize that we're responsible for the utility, and we're implementing, and thank you, Megan, as the project manager. I don't see where, there's Megan right over here. This is a north of, I hate to say it, but about $120 million project. We hadn't planned on it being $120 million. But these are some of the things that we do to benefit our community. And again, I think my fierce team, all of them, are very fierce, and they do a great job for the community. Well, let me thank you again. Welcome to the Community Services Department team. If you have any questions, you think of things later, you want to learn a little bit more about what Engineering Capital Projects does, please reach out. Thank you.